to Open Hearts Conversations, where every journey begins with an open heart. I am your host, Phumelele, and I am incredibly excited to go on this journey with you. And today's episode is all about introductions. You will be getting to know me, and I will also be sharing a bit of the backstory behind Open Hearts Conversations and how we've come to be exactly. So let us begin. So to start, I would like to introduce myself to you, get to know who this Phumelele is, right? So my name is Phumelele, like I mentioned. I am from the rural KZN, on the south coast of KZN particularly, a community called Iqilima. That is exactly where I was born and raised. I am the eldest daughter to my parents, and I'm also the eldest grandchild on my maternal side. So I often say that I'm the first for many reasons. But I grew up in a home where I was surrounded by mostly women because my mom had sisters as siblings and she never had, any brothers. So I have a lot of aunties who I drew a lot of inspiration from, and those are the people that raised me and influenced, my life in a big way as well. So I feel like growing up in this kind of an environment where we're surrounded by a lot of feminine energy, I was able to witness firsthand, the strength and the resilience of just women generally. So yeah, it was this experience also that also influenced the kind of work that I decided to do later on. I had a really deep desire to be a positive contributor to society and to my community, and particularly with young people and children. And that led me to pursuing a career in child and youth development, which is what I do currently. So I work with young people and children who are vulnerable and are at a high risk. So yeah, that is what I do. I've been doing that for a while now, because has it been 7 years? I think so. So I've been doing that for a while. At the moment, I live in Cape Town, where I have been working in various projects within the nonprofit space, and I have been here for the past 3 years now. Yeah, it has been quite an interesting journey for me, but we'll get into that at some other time. So also, there's a really creative part of me. I am a creative at heart. I have pursued or really initiated a few projects in my early 20s, which I'm really proud of. I really liked her, man. I liked me in my early 20s. I say this because I was so ambitious, man. I was daring. I was finding myself. I was exploring. Yeah. Anyway, I'm also a self-taught crocheter, so also a fiber artist at heart. But Open Hearts Conversations, let's talk about that now. Let's talk about that. Open Hearts Conversations is a project that began in 2019. It's something that is so close to my heart. It was founded by myself and Sam, a really dear friend of mine. We started this platform for people, and particularly women at the time, to gather and engage in really candid conversations in a space that is non-judgmental, and it was safe to be vulnerable. So we hosted a few sessions, right, in the space, and we were able to unpack parts of ourselves. We tackled a few themes around, navigating life's challenges and growing pains. We spoke about love. We spoke about healing. It was always with an open heart. We hosted a few of these in-person sessions. We did yoga. We had meals together. It was it was truly amazing and transformational, if I can say. Yeah, but I think it was pre-COVID when I had to relocate and I had to move away from Durban. And this is when things sort of changed for us. And Open Hearts Conversations was really impacted, at that time. But like the strong women we are, we we persevered. We did. So we obviously could not meet anymore in person. So we started our virtual sessions and we hosted a few of these on like Zoom and Google Team. What is it? Google Meets? Yes. WhatsApp. Yeah. So the conversations continued until 2022, and I think that's when we had our last session. That's when life had become incredibly demanding for me at the time. I had been facilitating these sessions, but I found myself in a place where I needed to take a step back. And it was quite a difficult time, if I'm honest. I found it very difficult to juggle everything. I had moved also again to this different city now, and life was just quite hectic, and I needed to juggle a lot. And so I found myself in a space where I didn't have much capacity for some things and I needed to prioritize. And one of the things that I needed to prioritize was also my personal well being and my mental health. And, this work is really deep work and it takes you places that you didn't expect. And so, having to hold space for other people and deal with my own things that are going on at the time, and also recognizing that I also am a leader in this thing because I'm the one facilitating these sessions. There's certain places that I felt like I couldn't go to. I needed to be strong for everybody else and hold space for everybody else. I needed to facilitate the space, so it 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 was difficult for me, particularly like emotionally. So I had to take a step away from this for a while, and it was difficult to come to that decision, but it needed to be done. I felt a deep sense of guilt and regret, but also like I had failed. Like I had failed myself, I had failed other people. We had built a community here and I was stepping away from that. Yeah, it took some time to come to terms with that because I felt like I owed these people, to continue with what we had started. And I found myself not having capacity for what I had started. What had I done? But yeah, I had to do a lot of work. A lot of inner work had to be done, and I needed to forgive myself, and understand that sometimes it's okay. It's okay to take a step back, and it's okay to take care of yourself first. They say that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and boy, was I running dry. I was running dry. Yeah, there wasn't much for me to pour anymore. So I needed to remind myself that it's okay, and it's okay to start over and to pick up where you left off, because it's a deeply, deeply humbling thing to have to start over, to feel like you've abandoned something, and here you are again trying to be seen trying. Oh my God, is it cringy? It is embarrassing. It is humbling. It is all of these things, but it is real. It is part of the human experience and it happens. But you will not move if you stagnate. You will not get anywhere. You will not achieve anything if you don't conjure up the courage to pick up where you left off. Yeah. I needed to have that conversation with myself. And now I am here in this period of my life. And, that period of like self-reflection and just working on healing certain parts of me has been incredibly important for me. It's brought me to where I am now. And I find myself, in a place where I'm ready. I'm ready and I have a sense of renewed energy for this again and a renewed passion. And so Open Hearts Conversation has evolved into this podcast, which is a virtual sanctuary. Oops, it sounds so corny, but yep, that's what I want to achieve, a virtual sanctuary for us to continue our work together. And in this space, we're going to dive into themes that are important for us and themes that can connect us all, Leading with love is at the core to everything that I do. And as we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, I want us to lead with our hearts. We're going to explore the really freeing and liberating aspects of life, but also the challenging parts as well. We're going to do this through open-hearted conversations and those really heartfelt reflections that we're going to have. I want this podcast to be, I want it to be a space where you feel connected, supported even, whether you having a really good time and you thriving and everything is good, or you finding things a little bit overwhelming, or you also feel just a little bit in between, I want each episode to be a blend of our personal stories, some practical tips if we can find them, and, reflective insights that are going to help us to grow and to understand ourselves a little bit better. So, as we move forward, I invite you to join me in these open-hearted conversations. I want us to embrace the full spectrum of our human experience, celebrating what it is to be alive, acknowledging the struggles that we go through, and just supporting each other along the way. I want to personally thank you for being here, and also to the people who have been with us from the very beginning. I also want to thank you for your patience as we navigated our journey. I am so thrilled to start this new chapter with you. And I hope that together we can create a space of healing, a space of connection, and of growth. So thank you. Thank you for tuning into this introductory episode of Open Hearts Conversations. If you resonated with anything that we've shared today, please subscribe and leave a 5-star rating because we will not accept anything less. My name is Phumelele. Anyway, it means success. So I don't have a choice but to succeed. So join the conversation on social media. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, share your stories, ask me questions. I'm really looking forward to engaging with you further. So thank you for listening, and remember that every journey begins with an open heart. Until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirit strong. We are all in this together. Okay, bye.